So today we're talking about the 48 Laws of Power. It's a book obviously written by Robert Greene, and there are some really important parts in this book that will help you to progress through life in a way that allows you to climb the hierarchy essentially. Now, some of these laws aren't hugely ethical. If we look at the dark triad being narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism, you'd probably suggest that a lot of them, especially Machiavellianism, are involved in many of these. So let's go through each and maybe look at a real life application to assist with your own personal life. So the first one is never outshine the master. So what does this mean? It means at work, don't overshadow your boss. Let's say you've got great ideas, allow your boss to take credit for them. Your value will then continue to grow by supporting them and elevating them, which makes them look favourably upon you and allows for you to gain future recognition. People don't like to be belittled. If you're the manager, and we've seen this at football clubs before, if you think that you're bigger than the manager, they get rid of you. So if you want to be someone who remains and builds success, don't outshine the master. The next one, number two, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Sometimes friends can take your loyalty for granted, can't they? And actually, sometimes you can be used. So instead, turn to maybe former rivals who may respect you more for what you can bring to the table. In business, a competitor might offer better partnership opportunities than a close friend. Sometimes doing business with your friend is not the best, but if you've got someone who you maybe don't get on with, but has a great opportunity for collaboration in order to make sure or ensure that you both become successful, maybe that's a better hand to play. Number three is conceal your intentions. When we overtly show our intentions, it can open us to manipulation. And actually, sometimes we don't get what we want. Let's use an example here. If you're interested in buying a house, don't let the seller know how badly you want it. Curb your enthusiasm, and that will allow you to maintain negotiating power and avoid being taken off. If you say, look, I want this property, I want it now, when can I have it? The seller knows that you will probably pay full price for it. And that's not just with buying houses, but it can work in many other areas of life as well. Number four is always say less than necessary. When negotiating or speaking with someone, only say as much as you need to convey your point. You can talk yourself into trouble sometimes. And actually, the less you say, the more power you hold. Because people will often fill the silence with their own thoughts and beliefs. People don't know where they stand as well when you're quiet. And actually, they can subconsciously try and win you over, in which case they offer things that maybe they wouldn't if you were Mr. Talkative. Number five is so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. We all know people at school that were known as the funny one, the strong one, the one who was good with girls. Your reputation follows you. And actually, you can win just through your reputation alone. Be mindful of how your actions are perceived by others. Stick to your word. be reliable, maybe avoid gossip, and ensure that you aren't damaging your image in any way, shape, or form. Well, again, at school, you will know someone who did something stupid, and that's lived with them throughout life, and they've got a nickname. That reputation is damaged. Number six is court attention at all cost. Today, it's all about attention. It's the reason that social media is so big, and those on social media who become successful, they are garnishing attention in any way, shape, or form, whether it's badly or through doing good means. Find a way to stand out. Don't fade into the background. Show your unique skills and qualities. You could create valuable content and make sure that you get the spotlight. They say, don't they, that there's no such thing as negative publicity. And I think that's what this is referring to. Number seven is get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. As a manager, as a leader, you can delegate tasks, can't you? But it's you who's at the forefront. You will take the final credit, even if the execution is done by your team. This makes you look powerful and shows that you can control a team in order to get an end result. Number eight is make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Don't chase people, don't chase things. Make yourself an attractive option. Offer something. Maybe it's through content success, public recognition, being really good at one thing. People will be drawn to you, and that's a way to build value and build power. Number nine is win through your actions, never through argument. Arguing is pointless. In the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, Carnegie talks about how the best way to win an argument is to avoid it. Instead of getting into heated debates, show through your actions that what you're saying is right. If you're saying that this particular diet is the best, have the six pack, prove it instead of arguing the point. If you say this is the best way to sell and you're the best seller, you don't need to argue. The results have done that for you. At the end of the day, your accomplishments speak louder than words. Number 10 is infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. You need to stay away from toxic and negative people. They can get you into bad situations. I mean, I myself have fallen into this, and I'm sure you have, is that something's bad's happened and it's nothing to do with you. You were just with the wrong person at the wrong time. And those things will affect your longer term trajectory in life. Instead, seek out people who have positive influences on your life and your mindset. Number 11 is learn to keep people dependent on you. Make yourself indispensable at work. Make yourself the person that people have to go to, whether it's for solutions or support. And actually, then you can leverage situations. Number 12 is to use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. If you're trying to win someone over, offer small, genuine acts of kindness and selective honesty, which can lower their defenses. A compliment will mean that someone will feel good about themselves and actually then maybe align with your goals. And it moves nicely on to the next one. Number 13 is when asking for help, appeal to someone's or people's self interest. Frame your requests in a way that highlights how it will benefit them. For instance, when asking a colleague for help, emphasize how their assistance will make them look good, and maybe they will then get a pay rise. Think about it might, not just at work, but outside of work. Or if they come to this party, they might be able to get a girlfriend, even though it's better for you to have a better party. So it's about reframing it in a way that's beneficial to them. Number 14 is pose as a friend, work as a spy. Building relationships allows you to gather useful information. If you're in sales, you can form genuine connections with clients or competitors to learn what's going on behind the scenes, giving you a competitive advantage. Information then is the key. Number 15 is crush your enemy totally. This is what businesses try to do. They try to create a monopoly and destroy enemies, which means that you retain power. Be decisive and finish what you start, and ensure that, I mean, let's just use a bad example, but revenge. If you batter someone, they're going to come back at you. If you kill them, and again, I'm not saying to do this, this is why it's classed as the dark triad, a lot of these, they can never come back to harm you. Number 16 is using absence to increase respect and honour. You want to be missed. You don't want to be lingering around. Football managers and boyfriends, girlfriends, sometimes they need to take time away for when they come back, they are respected. The CEO is only available for high priority matters because he's above all of the little stuff. Number 17 is keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. If people know exactly what you're going to do and what you're going to say, you become easy to manipulate. Don't let people predict your next move. It could be just routines at work or switching strategies. If someone wanted to kill you and you go in and out of the house at exactly the same time every day and stop at the same petrol station at the same time every day, you're easy to seek out and you're easy to control. If you're erratic and unpredictable, life can be difficult. You see it in the films, don't you, where the police are following the textbook and actually, because it's so predictable, the the thief or the criminal manages to use that to their advantage. Number 18 is do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. If you're isolated, people also know where you are. Stay connected to a network, whether it's colleagues, friends, mentors. When you're isolated, you can miss out on opportunities and knowing what's going on, and therefore you're vulnerable to attacks. Number 19, know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. We've probably all done it at some point. We've said something bad to someone, and little did you know that they are a manager or a very important person in your neighborhood, and they can negatively affect your life. You need to understand who someone is and what their goals and motivations are. Number 20 is do not commit to anyone, whether it's through jobs or personally. If you tie yourself down to someone too early, sometimes you can be on the losing side. And again, Machiavellianism. It's saying keep your options open and avoid being overly dependent on anyone or anything. This allows you to maintain freedom and flexibility. Number 21 is play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. In negotiations, if you downplay your knowledge or skills, it can work to your advantage. People underestimate you, giving you the upper hand, and then you reveal your true intentions. Another example might be that People will explain something to you and actually gives you an opportunity to learn something that maybe they wouldn't have taught you otherwise. Maybe they give away their game plan. Number 22 is use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes surrendering or stepping back is not a bad thing. It can give you a chance to plan your next move, to regroup, to re-strengthen, and actually it can lead to longer term results. Concentrate your forces. Like with Hitler in the Battle of Blitzkrieg when he took France, he put all his army through the Ardennes, which was a mountainous region that France thought could not be penetrated. And because of this, he took France very quickly. Focus on a goal at a time and don't try to do too much at once. Number 24 is play the perfect courtier. Master the art of charm and diplomacy, especially with those in positions of power. Understand social dynamics and understand how to adapt your behavior because you can make allies from people on both sides. Number 25 is to recreate yourself. You don't have to be the same person you were 5 years ago, especially if your current path isn't getting you results. You can change career, adjust your image, get a new haircut, pursue new goals, completely change who you are and what you stand for. And this can be a power move. Number 26, keep your hands clean. Don't let others see you involved in bad activities. Drug dealers are good at this, aren't they? They let other people deal for them and they just control stuff in the background and make themselves look innocent. Whether this is in that scenario or something more simple, office politics. Maybe you're feeding on information, but maybe you didn't make it up, make someone else look bad. Number 27, play on a people's need to believe or create a cult-like following. People often want to belong to something greater than themselves. Religion, sports team, being from a certain city. Align your ideas with people's desire for meaning and create a community. Number 28 is enter action with boldness. Don't hesitate. Be bold, be strong. If you're launching a new project or idea, approach it with confidence and decisiveness. Don't be weak. Number 29 is plan all the way to the end. Think ahead, plan for contingencies. Maybe you need a solid strategy for a career change, or you need to think out about what potential obstacles could be in the way and how to manage them in a business setting or personally. Number 30 is make your accomplishments seem effortless. No one wants to see the struggle, they want to see the results. This is why everyone loves people who are successful and they've made it look effortless, but actually, in the background, they've spent 20 years to be an overnight success. You should be the same. If you show how hard you work, you lose your competitive edge and you don't look like a legend in some stances. Some people appreciate the graft, but again, this is about looking powerful. Number 31 is control the options. Get others to play the cards you deal. Do you want the red t-shirt or the blue t-shirt? In no way there did you ever said do you want a t-shirt or not. You're offering them a choice that's going to benefit you in either case. Whether they buy red, blue, green, yellow, doesn't really matter. They're buying a t-shirt from you. So present options that lead to the outcome that you want. If you want to go out for food tonight, and you fancy an Italian or an Indian, you don't say, "Where do you want to eat tonight?" You say, "Oh, do you fancy Italian or Indian?" The chance of someone saying, "I want a Mexican" is a lot smaller than it would have been otherwise if you just asked them where they wanted to eat. Number 32 is play to rather people's fantasies. Sell people what they want, not just what they need. Focus on selling the dream or aligning with what it is they want more than anything, not just the features, but the benefits. Number 33 is discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has something that ultimately motivates them. If you're a manager and you find out that someone wants a pay rise for a new car, talk about how the fact that at every point in their day, oh, if you just send this extra email, if you just speak to this client and sell this deal, you'll be close to that BMW because everything in their life is for that new BMW, and that's why it's important to understand the desires of people around you. Number 34 is to be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Your reputation shows how people see you. If you see yourself and act like you're royalty, others will start treating you like that. Imagine, and we've all been in this, or we've all experienced this at some point. You've gone into someone's house and it's absolutely disgusting. You don't even want to take your shoes off. You don't even ask. You don't even care. On the flip side, someone's house is immaculate, not even a speck of dust. You feel bad even sitting on the sofa. You're keeping your hands in your lap. You don't want to make any mess whatsoever. And you're not comfortable because you know and you feel like you're in the presence of royalty. Number 35 is master the art of timing. Timing is crucial for everything from what you say to business decisions, whether you trade or invest. You need to understand when the right time to do something is. That's a skill in itself, and it makes sure that you will become more powerful. Number 36 is disdain things that you cannot have. Ignore them, or ignoring them is the best revenge. If something is out of your reach or unattainable, don't obsess over it. Let it go and focus on what you can control. This will build your resilience, prevent wasted energy on things that don't serve your growth. Number 37 is create compelling spectacles. Whether it's a business launch or an event, creating a memorable experience leaves a lasting impact. Think about how Apple created a buzz around their new iPod. Think about boxers and UFC guys getting you excited the fact that they're going to fight. That is what makes them powerful. Number 38, think as you like but behave like others. Don't voice your super strong opinion sometimes. Sometimes be vanilla and look like you agree with people because then they'll all get on with you. You might actually think that this guy's an idiot, but you don't need to say it because that person might be friends with John, who you're talking to at the moment. So you understand, and this works very well in a corporate culture, is don't show necessarily your true beliefs. Number 39 is stir up waters to catch fish. We need to sometimes not play by the book. We need to disrupt the status quo, force things to happen, force reactions, which gives you the upper hand. You can do that through stirring up waters. Number 40 is despise the free lunch. Don't take things for granted. When something is given to you for free, it often comes with strings attached. Don't rely too much on free offers, especially when making important decisions. And actually, don't don't be so tight. Actually, paying for stuff can be good. If you pay for a round of drinks with guys, you might be seen as favourable. Number 41, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. If your dad is a superstar, doesn't matter what you're going to do, you're never going to be seen as your own man. And it's going to be a hard act to follow. Alex Ferguson, Man United, they've still not replaced him because you're following a great man. You need to carve your own path and try and make something else a success. You don't want to imitate your predecessor. You want to create something new. Number 42 is strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. You've probably seen this in the Tom Cruise film. The name eludes me at the moment, where there's a group and they go, I think it's Jack Reacher. They go to attack him and there's five of them or something. And he says, there's only three of you. And he goes, what, are you blind to Tom Cruise? He goes, no, because as soon as I hit the first guy, the main guy, he's the leader. There's going to have two strong wingmen, and then the other two are just going to be too scared. So you need to understand with any problem, there is a focal point. If you get rid of that focal point, the rest will will, will drop. It's like Jenga. You take out one key brick, it falls. Number 43 is work on the hearts and minds of others. You need to appeal to people's emotions and values. It's a key skill in sales. You don't talk about the fact that this is a red t-shirt. You talk about the fact that they mentioned they're gonna have a good night out coming up. Well, think about you want to look the part, don't you? You want to make your ex feel jealous, or you want to do X, Y, and Z. You need to understand emotions are more important than just features. Number 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. When you repeat stuff back to people, it can unsettle them. If they say, "Oh, this guy's a dickhead. He's so ugly. He's horrible. He stinks," and you say to them, "So what you're saying is John? He stinks. He's horrible. He's disgusting." They can realise that they're actually a horrible person, and then that gives you control over that person. Number 45 is preach for the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Politics all day long. They say we're going to do this, but actually never do it. And people still fall for it because this is how power works. You say that you're going to do something and don't always deliver. Or if you do, it's going to take so long. And it's the totalitarian tiptoe. Slowly, slowly, things are taken away from you, but it's so slow, it's too late to realise by the end of it. Number 46 is never appear too perfect. If you see someone stumble, you laugh and you find it funny and they seem more human somehow. If you're just too perfect with everything, you never have a hair out of place, you never say the wrong thing, people think you're a robot and actually don't gain an affinity to you. If you see a kid fall over or start crying, you somehow get closer to that kid and feel like you need to care for them because they're not coming across as perfect. Number 47, do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. What about football players who have got, well, they were great at one point, but they've just carried on too far past their peak and now they're remembered as not that great. Quit earlier than you should do. Once you've reached your objective, don't keep going. Sometimes know when to quit. As the saying goes, quit while you're ahead. And the final one, law 48, is assume formlessness. Be adaptable, be like water. Understand that just because you've been a lawyer for X number of years, if it's not quite the right thing anymore, you can move on. If the relationship isn't working, you can move on. And actually, that gives you maximum ability to take advantage of ongoing opportunities. So, they're the 48 laws of power. Think of which ones you need to incorporate in order to make your life better. And again, these laws aren't always ethical, they're very much Machiavellian, but they can yield results.